Welcome to Learn English with Fun with Sahasriya. Hi, I am Govind. Welcome back to another Learn English with Fun podcast with Sahasriya, where we talk about English grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation twice every week. You get to practice your listening skills and learn valuable tips to become more fluent in English. One of the repeated questions we get at Sahasriya is how can I improve my vocabulary? And we get this from everyone, be it beginners, intermediates, OET and IELTS students, and even students doing their master's degree. But did you know that sometimes one single word can be slightly changed to mean something slightly different? Yes, that is why this is going to be an exciting podcast. In this podcast episode, you don't need to learn new words to improve your vocabulary, but you will be just using one word which you already know in different ways. Let us take a look. Remember, if you need any help with your English language skills, then be sure to check out with Sahasriya by subscribing to our Spotify podcasts or search Learn English with Fun. If you don't have a Spotify account, you can visit www.sahasriya.com for the complete set of our podcasts, which are categorized as per the discussion. Do note that our podcasts are short and impactful and are posted twice a week. So many students think they need to learn new words to improve their English, and they are not wrong. New words are great, but you would be surprised how much easier and more meaningful it can be if you just learn slightly different meanings that come from words you may already know. But before we get going and learn some slick new vocabulary, here is your first word, red. Yes, you heard it right. Red, the color red, R-E-D. So, how can we use the word red? Well, it is the color red, and we can talk about red balloons and red lipstick. Pretty easy, right? I know, but here's a new simple expression to go with it. Red. Like if you are embarrassed every time you mention in his name, she goes bright red. To go red means somebody feels embarrassed. Here is another one. I got the red carpet treatment, which means I was treated like a celebrity. Red carpet treatment means a celebrity-like treatment. Oh, and here is one more and a little advanced one at that with color red. For all you business students out there, the company was $6 million in the red. That means that they were in a loss of $6 million. Being in the red means being in a loss. And here is one more. When the pop star finished his concert, he headed out to paint the town red. Now what does that mean? Here it means that the pop star had a night out with lots of fun. So this is pretty cool, huh? Well, let us add one more information about red. The millennials use red color this way too. There is nothing about diversity or inclusion on the company's website. It is a huge red flag. What do they mean by red flag? They mean red as a negative or warning sign and use red and flag together as in red flag. Let me repeat. There is nothing about diversity or inclusion on the company's website. It is a huge red flag. Always remember that if you need additional help with your grammar, if you want to understand everything you hear or read and you want to express yourself completely, then check out www.sahasriya.com, where you can take great online English courses on a range of different topics. That was wonderful, wasn't it? It was about the color red. So let us build a little more on that. Now let us take a look at another color, and how about green? Now, of course, there is green grass, right? But let us look at how to use the word green to talk about the environment. We might say we need to develop greener cleansing products, which means environmentally friendly products. It can also mean to lack experience, like I was new back then and still pretty green. Here it meant that I did not have much of experience then. And we also use it to talk about envy or jealousy, as in I was green with envy. Well, are you good in gardening? Are you good at growing plants? Maybe flowers, tomatoes, potatoes. Are you having a green thumb? At least that is what they say in the US and Canada. In the UK, they say green fingers, which means are you into gardening? They are called green fingers and green thumb. Lastly, have you ever faced a green-eyed monster? Well, it is not a monster as you would imagine. It is a very simple way to express jealousy, right? The Gen Z uses green flag as positive indicators and use them in any type of relationship. Like they use it like, he always listens to me and supports my goals. That's a green flag for me. Wasn't that cool stuff on green language and green color? Let us stay tuned for one more color. Well, the color that we are going to now take a look is the color blue. There's a lot of them with color blue. Have you ever felt sad? Have you ever been feeling blue lately? Now, both these sentences meant the same. When somebody says, have you been feeling blue lately? That means, have you been feeling sad? Is there any activity that you don't usually participate in? For me, I eat pretty healthily, but once in a blue moon, I smack around on sweets and ice creams. Here, blue moon means very rare, almost next to infinity, right? We can also use the expression blue in the face to express that you've talked a lot, but not gotten what you wanted to like. Like, they use it in sentence like this. When I was a kid, I would complain about my homework until I was blue in the face, but no one would listen to me. Blue in the face meant that you wanted to express that you talked a lot, but you did not get the results out of what you spoke. And one more way that they use is bolt from the blue. What do they mean by that? Bolt from the blue means news that comes very unexpectedly. For example, my grandfather's arrival this morning was a bolt from the blue. I always thought they were sick and bedridden. I would like to wrap this episode up with 3 more colors that are used in interesting ways, but in very limited situations. And what are they? The first amongst them is brown, like brown nose. I'm not meaning your nose which may be brown, but brown nose means too hard to please someone in a way that annoys other people. For example, Jack was brown-nosing Mr. Ram, trying to get the most helpful prize. But the other teachers told him that Jack never helps students on class projects. The second color in this section that we are going to look at is rose. Yes, of course, there is a flower called rose, but then we are going beyond that, like rose-colored glasses, seeing or looking through rose-colored glasses. This means that you are only seeing the good things about the situation and not noticing the bad things. For example, she looks through rose-colored glasses at everything. Even last night's disaster. She said it was cute, but it was actually terrible. The third color in this section that we are going to talk about is pink. Many of you may have heard native speakers use "I am in my pink of my health" or just simply "I am pink." When they say that, they actually mean that they are in their peak physical condition and in the best possible health. Stay tuned for the fun section of this episode. In this fun section of this episode, let us look at a couple of trivia about English language. I'm going to ask you some questions and pause it, which are something very important and very good to know. First one. Do you know there are only 2 words in English that has 3 consecutive double letters? What are they? Well, let me explain what the question meant. Okay? Let us take the word cool. It has 1 consecutive double letter, that is O. Now, what are the 2 words in English that has 3 consecutive double letters? Well, the answer is bookkeeping and bookkeeper. BOOKKEEPING, BOOKKEEPER. Well, let us look at one more important trivia. Did you know almost is the longest word in English language with all letters in alphabetical order? What? The longest word in English language with all letters in alphabetical order. Almost. ALMOST. LMO. In that order of alphabetical table of English. Similarly, SNT. Again in the same order of the alphabet series within English language. That was interesting and exciting, wasn't it? Remember, you don't need to learn fancy new words all the time. Sometimes it is a good idea to use simple words in more interesting ways. I hope you have enjoyed learning a fun and awesome way to think about vocabulary. Remember that if you need any help with your English, you should do 2 things. 1. Subscribe to Learn English with Fun podcast at Spotify. 2. Check out at www.sahasriya.com. We have lots of great online English courses, including IELTS PTE courses. My name is Govind and I will see you soon. Take care. Have a nice time.